Hey, what's up, family? How are you doing tonight? A couple of interesting topics I would like to talk about. I'd like to talk about these NBA playoffs. Yeah, how y'all liking this NBA playoff so far? We down to the final four. We got Rockets, Golden State, and we have Cleveland and Boston. So that's going to be real interesting. In this video, I'm going to talk about NBA playoffs, um, the alleged rumor about Slaughterhouse breaking up, um, the new, the new supposedly Nas album that's dropping June 15th, the same day as Nicki Minaj. I'm gonna definitely talk about Kanye, and I'm gonna talk about how to deal with stress if you're feeling stressed. So let's get to these playoffs right now, huh? So I've been watching these playoffs. I think it's been pretty cool, decent, um, pretty decent. Um, I don't know about the Boston and Cavaliers series. That's going to be real interesting. My mind says pick LeBron yet again. The way that Boston been playing has been crazy. So shout out to Brad Stevens, Marcus Smart, and the rest of the Celtics out there balling. Big shout out to Philly too, because Philly put in very good effort. Even to Anthony Davis, go Anthony Davis, man. Pelicans, they did their thing. So you know that's you know that's that's it. Just Rockets and Warriors. Honestly, of course, Warriors my team. I got Warriors in six. Uh, my reasons for that, well, I don't know how. I don't know how Chris Paul is gonna. He's gonna be guarding, of course, Steph Curry, and that's gonna be interesting. This is his first conference finals, so of course, James Harden, of course, gonna do his thing. Um, but I think the Warriors got too much. Like I said, I got Warriors in six. What I would like to talk about, though, I would like to talk about LeBron. Um, I watched this man's career. I watched how man, he's been taking his team to the championships. But this would be if he makes it. What's that? 7 or 8. So that's real. That's interesting. But the reason why I want to talk about LeBron is because I think I was watching First Take, and one of the topics that they were discussing was, is LeBron underrated, if I'm not mistaken. And so that got me thinking. I was really thinking about that. Is LeBron James underrated? And honestly, I don't think he's underrated. I think that when I look at LeBron James, right, and his career in the NBA, and coming from the Jordan era, because I was born in the 80s, so being in the middle of that era and watching Jordan, one of the things, and Michael Jordan's not one of my favorite players. I did enjoy watching him because he was something to watch. Him and Scottie Pippen. I would personally say Scottie Pippen would be Um, Scottie Pippen was when I played basketball, who I would want to emulate. Everybody, when I was growing up, wanted to be Michael Jordan. So Bulls wasn't my favorite team, but just watching them and watching the fact that they did lose to the Pistons, and that's in a lot of people's mind is what really made Michael Jordan get better, is losing to those Pistons teams. So when I see when I see LeBron, right, and this is not to take anything away from LeBron and his career, because I enjoy watching LeBron play. I think he's a hell of a basketball player. Um, I think he, I think he's a hell of a basketball player, and his run has been incredible. I don't believe that you can put him, in my opinion, in the same class as Michael Jordan. I think that's an overstatement. How can you put somebody who's lost um, as many as Michael Jordan have won? Look at LeBron. Or look at the competition which he is up against. So, for instance, he beat the Toronto Raptors. He swept them again. So, is this saying that LeBron, for example, is he that great, or is the Raptors just not that team? Which one? Something has to be, you know, something is not right in that equation. So, and Bron had a very good series against the Raptors. Um, I don't, I don't per se when I think about legends, and this is not the West at any given time. I know the Warriors have their run, but at any given time, the West is so open, right? Before the Warriors, the West was supposed to do. The West was open. The East, over the past 13 years, has been there's been no competition in the week, and I know and that's not LeBron's fault, but to see when it gets down to playoff time and to see the teams that he goes against is just not entertaining. So, for instance, that Raptor series was not entertaining. DeMar DeRozan, I don't know. He went off. I don't know where DeMar went, but he wasn't the same player that we seen in the regular season. He wasn't that same player that was on the All-Star team. He wasn't that same player that showed that I'm here. He kind of reminded me of James Harden last year against the Spurs, just just didn't show up. I don't know if Brian is in his head, but that just series wasn't entertaining. And I know the Raptors was number one, but let's be honest, y'all. Did y'all really think the Raptors was going to go to the championship? I did. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I told one of my homeboys I had picked them because they look so good in the middle of the season, and so that's I was like, let's go with it, man. And so watching that series per se was just crazy. I didn't like it. That's one of the things I didn't like watching in the NBA playoffs the past couple of years is that there's been no competition. There's been no competition, especially for LeBron. There's been no competition. Um, Jordan always gave you a little bit of competition. He did have in his last championship, he did have to sit up there and they played a very good Pacer team, very good Pacer team. So that's the one thing that I think, to me, that's missing in the NBA is that East being strong. The last couple of years, it's been to me, the West been entertaining. The East it's been awful. Just because the team Boston had the number one seed last year, and Bron pass starts just like it did last year. Um, and so, like I said, it's unentertaining. Now, this year, it was, like I said, the Raptors series. Just to me, that wasn't it. Um, CP3, he's going to his first conference finals. He's going to be playing the Warriors. Like I said, I got the Warriors in 6. I just think the Warriors got too much firepower, and that's not me being biased because that's my favorite team. That's just me looking at how they play. Of course, the Rockets play more individual basketball. The Warriors spread the ball out. They pass that ball around, and you know that Kevin Durant or Steph Curry is there, and if you have them, then you got to sit up there and deal with Klay Thompson, and do not let Draymond get off. So there's a lot of more factors that come into the Warriors than the actual, to me, the Rockets. I think it's going to be entertaining for the most part, but I do still think the Warriors will win 6. So enough basketball talk, right? So we can go on, for that. The games are on Sunday, and you have the Warriors on Monday. So, we shall see what will happen. That Boston and Celtics, the Boston and Cavaliers, I will make my pick closer to the game. Because that's something I got to be, is not necessarily for the Boston Celtics. It's more. So, we're going to talk about the Slaughterhouse breakup, supposedly, right? In my opinion, that's one of the illest groups I've seen come together. They brought everything, all individuals. I think that Crooked is nice. I think that Joel Ortiz is nice. Of course, Royce. Man, Joe Buttons is crazy. I don't think people give Joe Buttons his due as a lyricist. Me personally, I think they like to look at everything else that he does, but as a lyricist, he's nice. And once again, I'm not going to say that being biased. I think if you really listen to Joe's music, you can hear something that you don't hear from your regular artists. And I think that was all of them. Crooked had that. Ortiz had that. And of course, Royce. What made them interesting is that how do you get 4 incredible MCs and put them together in a group? How do you do that? That was just 4 MCs that's already perfecting their craft and it's still relevant. You put all of them in a pot, and oh man, they talk about Glass House not being that they didn't drop their last album or it's not finished or whatever the case may be. But I can only imagine that that project is incredible. because their first two projects that they have, even being on each other's albums, and just the songs that they did earlier, before the Slaughterhouse, well, um, took off. I mean, you know, it was incredible. So to hear this news as a fan, of course, it was like, damn. One thing that I feel like they brought was another element that the game hip hop hasn't had, and that's to make you think. If you listen to all their songs, both of their albums, they made you think. So that not being a group anymore, and that them not being a group anymore, and them not putting out what, just the records, and of course, I don't know any Slaughterhouse members. I only go, I listen to Joe Buttons, and you know just like some of you guys, you listen to the reports and you listen to the radio interviews. So no, I don't think it's any bad blood between them. It's just one of those type of deals where you like, damn, as a fan, something that you won't be able to see. Maybe they will drop something in the future. Hopefully, they're able to clean up this situation and get back to making music. I felt like them going to Shady, in my opinion, was bad because I haven't seen Shady develop an artist, let alone a group. They had D12 over there, and they couldn't get them past where they needed to be. And I don't think that um, I don't think Shady is into branding other artists, but Eminem. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. But I just think anybody else that comes over there will not have the same shine that Eminem will have. So if you're a group and you're four incredible MCs, to be over there, you're going to play second fiddle to Eminem. And who would want to do that? You know, I mean, I understand that, people will say, oh, he's, Eminem, but that competitive spirit in you, you can't be like, oh, nah. You feel that you're either better or you're on that person's level. At least that's how I feel. I feel like any job that I get, I'm on that person's level. Of course, it takes time, but once you're able to learn, then hey, you know what I mean? And I just felt like Shady held back Slaughterhouse. And I don't mean that to say they stopped their money. Nah, I mean the creativity that Slaughterhouse would have brought. I felt like, nah, you can't be over Shady. So I think, we've seen that kind of happen with the Rockefeller, right? Um, and that's interesting because I would like to talk about the Kanye. Um, I blame y'all for Kanye. Yep, I blame the public for Kanye's West, um, how he is. My reason for that, the reason why I blame you guys, is because you guys bought into a fictional character, in my opinion. This is just my opinion, right? I believe everybody says Kanye West is a musical genius. That's what I hear. No doubt, Kanye West is a dope producer. I'm not even gonna put him in no lyricist because, you know, from he doesn't write his own lyrics. So somebody that doesn't write their own lyrics, how can I sit up there and say you're a god? How can I say, and I don't mean that in the form of, I mean in hip hop. How can I say that you're that dude when your ideas or what you say is not the words, that they're not your words? And I understand that people have, produced writers and other producers, but I didn't feel like Kanye West was that dude to put him on that plateau like that. That's just me. I didn't believe it was like that. I believe everybody was looking for somebody to believe in, and because we didn't, and I'm not going to say we as in me, saying y'all needed somebody to believe in, and y'all went to Kanye West. Y'all went to Kanye West. Y'all believed in Kanye West. And, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't believe he's that dude. I mean, this doesn't take away from what y'all say is he's a musical genius. Hey, I don't necessarily see that, him being a musical genius, because I think there's a lot of other producers out there that y'all hasn't attached musical genius to, that are just incredible or may be more. So I don't believe, this is, like I said, this is just my opinion, that Kanye West is that dude. What has he, what has he, what was, his, like, I wouldn't know. Like, College Dropout was a good album. Follow that up with Late Registration. That was good. But y'all believed in that. So therefore, y'all shocked that this is how he feel. Well, hey, y'all put him up there like that. So why be shocked when, that's what he's, that's what he says. What he did reminded me of that Lil Wayne interview a couple years back, where Lil Wayne was saying he's not connected to anything, and he went on his little rant. That's what it reminded me of. And how I looked at it was, okay, he's just trying to sell records. That's all he's trying to do. He's trying to stay relevant. If he want to put on a hat that say "Make America Great Again," that's up to him. He's rich, right? He's not in that same tax bracket that he once was. He's not that. He's rich. Look at him. He's rich. And I don't believe, honestly, what I will give Kanye without much respect is at least he said what he felt. You have a lot of entertainers that go around here, and you don't know how they don't really speak how they feel. They seem like they say anything to make the public happy and not themselves. That's how I see some entertainers. So when I looked at Kanye West doing what Kanye West said, much respect. That's how you feel. Hey, go ahead. Now let's get to the rest of them. How many other hip hop artists supported Trump? You think Kanye West was the only one? No. Come on, man. Stop playing. Don't just. He was not the only one. I'm pretty sure there's a couple more. And if y'all did find out, y'all still be shocked, and y'all still bump their music, and y'all wouldn't really care, right? Let's be honest. Y'all don't care. I know y'all don't care. So, it's very interesting. Like I said, I blame y'all. Y'all put that man up on that pedestal. That man didn't deserve. I don't think any rapper deserves to be on a pedestal. because they're rappers. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't nothing wrong. I don't think there's nothing wrong. You know, back in the day, I wanted to be a rapper. I don't think there's nothing wrong with being a rapper. But I think, what are you rapping for? What is your message? And if your message over the years gets confusing and you don't know and you're acting different than what you're saying, then I think that is what makes fans gravitate towards other artists. Excuse me. I think that's what makes fans do that. I need a little water break. But yeah, I think his message has been distorted over the years and lost. He doesn't, to me, Kanye West doesn't have that same impact that Nas has. Nas has an album dropping June 15th. Now check this out, y'all. Family, please listen. You can either agree with me or you don't have to agree with me. There's been a debate. There's been a debate for years. Nas, Jay-Z, Nas, Jay-Z, Nas, Jay-Z. Now, when I was first introduced to Nas, it was a very different how I was introduced to Jay-Z. Being introduced to Nas was, whoa, I gotta wait a couple of more years before I can understand Illmatic. When I first heard Illmatic, it went over my head. I can't lie to you, it went over my head. My appreciation for Nas didn't come until his second album, and that was when I Ruled the World came out. And he had that joint with Lauryn Hill. Now, let me tell you, that song still sends chills to me because that song is so motivating. That song is positive. That song is something that is, me being a kid when I heard that song. Well, not a kid. When that came out, I was 17. So at that time, Nas made me feel like I can do anything that I want. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nas made me feel like I could be anything that I wanted just off of that song if I could rule the world. When I first heard Jay-Z, my introduction to Jay-Z was Machiavelli. And I heard him on, of course, I heard ain't no nigga, but it was the Machiavelli that had me be like, oh, Jay-Z. Because out here on the West Coast, the only thing we had of Jay-Z was that I Love the Dough on a double album. And a lot of, at that time, people liked that song, I remember, but it wasn't what on that album with the song that people gravitated towards out here. So, I mean, the song was nice, but it took a while for Jay-Z, and every time when I did hear Jay-Z, he just reminded me of your everyday dude. And I don't mean every day, I mean your flossing type of dude. So it didn't give me the same vibe. It just made me feel like, oh, okay, well, shit, I gotta have some money, listening to Jay-Z, but it didn't give me that imagination that Nas did. Nas, every album that Nas dropped, I can imagine it's, if you are a true Nas fan, then you will understand. And I think that if you're a fan of any hip hop lyricist, then I guess, that's how you feel. But Nas, for your favorite rapper, Nas is just, his music is different than, you know, than Jay-Z's. Jay-Z put out 4-4 last year. And everybody praised 4-4. 4-4, I got the album. I got it when it first came out. And yeah, I think it's a nice album, right? But what Nas has been doing his whole career, Jay did in that album. Nas been doing that his whole album. Let's keep it 100. Y'all want to keep it 100? Nas been doing that his whole career. Nas been dropping jewels. And it takes, when Nas drops an album, it takes about a good 6 to 8 months to look at the climate after he dropped an album, and just, you got to sit on it. Not a Jay-Z said, rap about it now, think about it later. That's what Nas is. Nas makes you think. Jay-Z's that 444 was okay. Let's keep it 100 though. Do you think it was better than Blueprint 1? You think it was better than Blueprint 1? I don't know. However, I just think it's different. I think Jay-Z's in the Writers Music Hall of Fame. How about that? What I've got from Jay-Z is I got most of his, he talks about what he did on the streets. We can go to our old blocks to hear that from, if we want to hear about shit from the streets, you go back to your old neighborhood, talk to them cats. That's what I got from Jay-Z. I got the shit that I could have went back to my block and heard no different. And I'm a Jay-Z fan, but when you say the message and what people get from the message, a lot of people get negativity from Jay-Z's message opposed than not. Yes, if I'm wrong, then I'm, feel free. I would love to hear it. Please, if you're watching this, please subscribe to the video. It's just, like I said, man, Nas is a whole nother monster when it comes to hip hop, in my opinion, and being a fan, being somebody that loves moods. That's why Slaughterhouse to me was so impactful, because the mood, especially Joe. I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a Joe Budden fan. Joe Budden is unbelievable. And that's what I was talking about. For instance, you might have your up and your ups and your downs when it comes to, your days. When I'm down, I can't really listen to, for instance, Jay-Z. I have to listen to somebody that's going to make me think, to make me get into myself, so I can understand me, so I can sit back and I don't want to do the same shit that everybody else, or listen to the same shit that everybody else listens to, because you know what? You get programmed doing that, right? You listening to what everybody else listening to, and you get programmed. You doing the same shit that the rappers on the song not even doing, and you doing that shit. So I don't like to listen to all that new age ass music, even though you got some shit. I ain't gonna lie to you. You listen to it, you like, damn. But for the most part, that shit is the message, the feeling. You know, music is about that feeling, that it's something that makes you, oh, whether it be the lyrics, whether it be the beat, whether it be the chorus, whatever it is, music is supposed to make you feel something good, not sit up here and feel manufactured, not feel artificial. Nowadays, this music, it seems artificial. They don't, you know what they do? I heard a song on the radio where it was, you know, a song from the 90s. They just made the beat a little bit more better. And, you know, you got this shit. Like, come on, bro. That's not, to me, that's not music. Music is when you come up with your own sound. Yeah, I know you sample, and but you know, sampling is good, but at the end of the day, you have to be you. You have to be original. So I'm not knocking, I'm not knocking Jay-Z, Kanye West. Just my opinion is I felt like they wasn't for the people in the beginning, and we hyped them up because we didn't have nothing to necessarily to believe in. We sit up there and we just hopped on, okay, well, let's fuck with Big Pimpin', not knowing, like, come on, bro. Like, I understand the radio hits, but let's keep it 100, bro. It's like me being a lover of music and a lover of positivity. How much negativity can one listen to? And this was to sum up everything, right? How to deal with stress. This is what this video also was about, is how to deal with stress. Because I know a lot of us, we work 9 to 5, or we work overnight. We work. So therefore, when you working, there's a lot of things that we don't do. We'll go spend money for some fast food. When you on your break, you go lay in that car, go to sleep for about an hour or 30 minutes instead of going and just walk around. Get that real energy. How to deal with stress. Go to bed early. Go to sleep. Rest. If you don't have nothing to do, rest. You know what you do? Cut that damn cell phone off, take the battery off, and just rest. Rest. Your life depends on it. Rest. Eat some fruit. Stay away from the meat. How to deal with stress? Go exercise. Go walk. Go talk. If you feeling empty, if you're down, go talk to somebody. Go get help. Go get counseling. It's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes being from the hood, from the streets, whatever people say, being from the ghetto, that's what it was called when I was growing up, from the ghetto, is that you have all these things in your head. You have all these emotions. You have to talk to somebody. It's okay to get counseling. It's okay to say, I need help. There's nothing wrong with that. I think we as a people have strayed away from actually helping people. We don't want to help anymore. Somebody can need $1, and we can actually have 150 in our pocket. We won't give $1. Now, I'm not saying that you're supposed to do that every time, you know what I'm saying, you see somebody, but we've came away from actually giving to people. And that's what we're supposed to do. Is ants can sacrifice their life. Why can't we? What's so wrong with giving? Everybody's trying to take, everybody's out for self. So, of course, what's going on is everybody's out for self. People stressing. You don't know if the person you with trying to just, get you set up or take you for your money or fuck over your feelings. You don't know. How you deal with it? You have to talk. Do something that's not your norm. Go outside of the box. Do something different. Find you. You know, I think, in my opinion, I think that's where a lot of people go wrong at. They're trying to not find themselves. They're actually trying to sit up here and be there for everybody else. And it's okay to do that. But you have to think about yourself first. How do you stop the stress? I mean, let's be honest. I don't think stress will ever really go away. It's how you deal with it. It's just really all how you deal with it. Sometimes you can deal with stress and then what do? You take it out on somebody else that don't have nothing to do with it. So to avoid these things, eat better. Stop the late night snacks. That doesn't do anything. Getting certain foods out. Even I'm gonna be honest, not drinking, not smoking, being one with not needing these things. Because at the end of the day, depend on a when you depend on something, then you're needing of that. It means you are not you. So I don't necessarily think that, when you are stressing, you're supposed to take substance to numb that. I think that pain is organic, and I think you have to go through it. Because if you don't go through it, then what winds up happening is it sets up pockets for destruction. Because what happens is every time you you start to level up, then what happens is you can't level up. You created a pocket, and every time you're supposed to rise, you go right back to that pocket. You won't level up. So we as people, stress is not good. Go walk 20 minutes. Take the kids out, take the family out, and just go walk. Go talk. Go tell somebody that you haven't told in a long time that you love them, that you miss them, that you're thinking about them. Because at the end of the day, all we have is this time that is designated on this plane that we call Earth. So, with that, you have to be mindful. You have to sit up there and take a break out for you. You do. You have to take a break out for you. Because if you don't, then what's going to happen? So, everybody's running temperature high. Summer's about to come in, bills kicking in. Everybody's running temperature high. Don't let it distract you. Keep on your route. Keep what you have, and that's it. And you have fun. You know what I'm saying? You take this life so serious. Go have fun. You know? So, man, I enjoy talking to y'all. This is two of many that's gonna come. I took 3 weeks off. There was a lot of things going on, so I don't plan on doing that. I plan on trying to get to y'all every other day, just to drop something, just to keep up. Um, we're gonna drop this knowledge. Anyway, I'm going to be signing off once again. Wrap it up. We got the Warriors in 6 against the Houston Rockets. Uh, like I said, I got to get back with y'all on Houston. On Cleveland and Boston. I know, like I said, y'all see this Boston hat and y'all like, damn, you're a Boston fan. I like the Red Sox. The Red Sox is one of my favorite baseball teams with the A's, but I'm not wearing this for Boston Celtics. I'm doing this for B. B, once again, BTV. You can be. Damn it, I forgot the damn slogan. Anyway, you can be you. Alright, we signing off. Peace.